महिलांचे हक्क हे विशेष अधिकार नसून मानवी हक्कांचा एक मूलभूत पहलू आहे. This means women's rights are not a privilege but a fundamental aspect of human rights. She endured relentless verbal abuse and was often pelted with stones, mud, and even dung, a testament to the harsh resistance she faced in her pursuit of social reform. And what was her fault? That she dared to fight for the marginalized, that she believed every girl deserved the power of education to stand tall and face the world. But little did the harshness of this behavior dampen her spirit. Hello friends, I am Anuradha, and today's story is about one of the most inspirational females of all time, whose contribution only increased by the day. Our beloved Savitribai Phule was born in a small village called Naigaon in the year 1831 in Maharashtra. This was of course during the British Raj. She was not formally educated, and as was common at that time, she was married at the age of just 9 to Jyotirao Phule, and she moved to Poona, now Pune, to live with him. Jyotirao Phule, himself a child at the time, had undergone primary education. He was impressed by his wife's enthusiasm to learn, and he decided to teach her to read and write. She didn't disappoint him at all. Post her primary education, she attended 2 teacher training programs, one in Ahmednagar run by Cynthia Farrar and another at a normal school in Pune. And all this while, Jyotirao Phule, her husband, stood by her side. She became a qualified teacher in 1847, and her educational journey is indeed remarkable. In 1848, Jyotirao and Savitribai Phule opened a pioneering school for lower-caste girls in Bhidewada, Poona, with 6 girls as their first students. She started a school for adults in 1849 and accepted students from all castes. Her work was met with widespread hostility from various stratas of society, especially from the rich and powerful, as they didn't want disruptions in the traditional mindset of people. She was often verbally abused and had stones, mud, and dung thrown at her on the way to her school. She even started carrying a spare sari to change into at the school, but her spirit remained unbroken. Even her father-in-law asked the couple to leave the family home because of the social stigma attached. But all of this mattered nothing to the duo, as their unwavering focus towards their mission continued. To minimize the dropout rates at the schools, she offered stipends to the students. Though they were not financially very wealthy, they relied on a combination of personal resources, donations from supporters, and the efforts of volunteers to fund their work. Despite this, the day-to-day struggle, hardships, and humiliation continued. But slowly, they could see subtle stirrings of a new breeze. Their fearless efforts eventually started to pay dividends. By 1851, the Phules were running 3 schools attended by more than 150 girl students. Savitribai Phule was declared the best teacher in the Bombay Presidency by the British run government in 1852, and they went on to open a total of 18 schools in the Poona region. She continued her quest towards fighting social injustice, and in 1854, the Phules opened a shelter for widows, and to make this success sweeter, a legislation was passed in 1856 to allow remarriage for Hindu widows. In 1864, she built a larger shelter for widows, destitute women, and child brides cast aside by their families and provided education to them. She also campaigned against child marriage, infanticide, and sati, which incidentally was abolished in 1829 but still prevalent in Phule's time. Since lower castes were forbidden from using the common village well, Phule and her husband dug a well in their backyard for them. This move caused a lot of furore at that time, and they faced relentless aggression and humiliation from people. She went on to adopt the son of a Brahmin widow who delivered the baby at her shelter. The child was named as Yashwantrao, who would go on to become a doctor. Here I would like to read out a very meaningful and relevant quote said by Savitribai Phule. Let knowledge be the lamp that dispels the darkness of ignorance. Phule played a key role in the formation of the reform society called Satya Shodhak Samaj, meaning Society of Truth Seekers, founded by her husband in 1873. It aimed to promote social equality, unite and uplift lower castes, and reverse the socio-economic inequality caused by the caste system. Phule started the practice of Satya Shodhak marriage, organized without a priest or dowry, in which couples took an oath in favor of education and equality. Jyotirao Phule died in 1890, and Savitribai Phule lit his funeral pyre, defying social conventions which demanded that the last rites should only be performed by men. She continued to lead the Satya Shodhak Samaj until her death by bubonic plague in 1897. She had set up a clinic in the outskirts of Pune for treating victims during the third pandemic of bubonic plague. But while trying to save Babaji Gaikwad's son, she sadly contracted the disease and died. Today, she is known as the first female teacher in India, and alongside her husband Jyotirao Phule, they challenged caste hierarchy and discrimination. Savitribai Phule is often cited as a role model for women's empowerment and feminism in India. In 1998, India Post released a postal stamp in her honor. In 2014, the state government of Maharashtra renamed the University of Pune as Savitribai Phule Pune University. Today, it is truly heartening to witness women stepping into their power, their journeys marked by joy, resilience, and unwavering self-belief. Yet, at the foundation of this progress lies the courage and sacrifices of trailblazers like Savitribai Phule, whose relentless fight against injustice paved the way for generations to come. Koti Koti Vandan, meaning infinite salute for her. Dear listeners, as we reach the end of this story, I hope it inspired you in some way. And let's not forget the objective of Savitribai Phule's mission, which says that justice is not found until it reaches the last woman standing in line.